I just want to make sure we overemphasize that the victims are telling the truth. They are not lying on these people. This situation, these rich men and women who have been abusing and unaliving these children, they're nothing more than organized crime, okay? No matter how much they state that they are Christian, no matter how hard they flag about them being pro-life, no matter how much they pretend that Jesus is Lord or whatever other foolishness they are coming with, they are no more than organized crime. In fact, they are no greater than the gangbangers that they prosecute in regular life. You know, if you don't want such and such that's a crip or a blood as your president or your state representative or your senator or nothing, why would you elect these people? Why would you trust them simply because they are rich men? And people like Trump, Zuckerberg, what's the Google motherfucker, people like that, these are the people that are part of that motherfucking crowd, okay? And it's many, many more, all right? But they want you to focus on, oh, Bill Clinton's on the list, Show me Bill Clinton with a child. See, there are plenty of images with y'all, allegedly, with children, okay? Somewhere bent over like Prince Andrew, or like when Sasha Riley kicked that tent peg up Trump's ass. Yeah, show me those people, okay? Don't show me them motherfuckers that was up in there snorting cocaine, okay, with the grown people. Don't show me the grown people that was snorting coke and doing drugs and shit. Show me the grown people that decided they needed to violate some motherfucking children, but they are the ones that's writing the laws for this country. Yeah, these are the people that participate in that organized crime, okay? And all of them are demonic. So no matter what type of Christianity or religious bullshit they put in front of you, they are not that, okay? And they've been covering it up, okay? And then there are those of you who still don't believe it. You're part of that fucking MAGA cult. You don't believe that you're cult-minded because you're like, oh, I still go and come as I please, but you are moving with a cult, as a cult, doing as your cult leader says. If you are one of these people like Pam Bondi, who are responsible for putting these people behind bars or at least starting the prosecution process, and you are not, you are part of the cult and you are covering it up. In fact, this is what they're actively doing right now, okay? They are trying to cover up as much as they possibly can because they know as soon as they prosecute Donald Trump or start the process, everything must go. So, of course, they are trying to clean it up. They're actively right now redacting the powerful men and women's names. They're not powerful. They're pieces of shit, okay? But they're redacting those people's names from the list, trying to clean it up a bit. You know, they're going to leave a few in there, those sacrificial lambs, those that don't mean as much to them, or the weak links, or so they think. They're going to leave them in that motherfucker. They're going to be like, yeah, you stay in there. Yeah, but the rest of it, we're going to clean it up. We're going to redact, and we're going to subtract, and we're going to divide and do everything we can to hide President Trump's name from it. See? Yeah. A lot of secrets that was going on. Put these motherfuckers down so I can pick up and show y'all some hidden perversions and shit and secrets, okay? This shit is hidden. They trying to hide it, but this is their secret, okay? They've got secrets, okay? This hidden little club. Y'all wanted to always talk about the Illuminati. Here's the Illuminati right now. Y'all wanted to know who the Illuminati was? This circle of men that have been raping children for centuries. This is who it is. I say it's centuries. I'm sorry. I mean decades, y'all. But I will stick to. Epstein been going on for decades. They've been doing this type of shit to children for centuries. Okay. Back in that Roman Empire shit, when they would take the lives of the children that came here disabled or felt like they were too small, they would kill them. Shit. And yeah, they've been doing this to children. These are not just Hollywood depictions. This is not just somebody's mind. This is a motherfucker that was in that circle doing that shit. That motherfucker that produced Melania's flop of a documentary, he was on the island. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Bunch of secret perverse bullshit been going on, okay? And it's been amongst that upper 1% crowd, okay? Those super duper rich motherfuckers, male or female, okay? Because we need to start talking more about these women who are pedophiles as well, okay? But I continue. I'll digress. Yeah, all of these secrets and hidden perverts and secret groups that's doing shit to kids. This shit been going on. And they trying their best and damnedest to cover it up. Baby, they putting all kinds of money out there. Okay? They trying to pay folks off silently, all of that, because this is what led to it. That greed. Their own greed led to them being in these positions right now. I don't feel sorry for any of these powerful motherfuckers or these rich motherfuckers that's getting ready to go down. Good. See, their greed, they present, those folks that present themselves or that are those power supplies for people, you know, and I don't mean like they the electric company or nothing like that, but don't be surprised if the CEO of the electric company or some of these utilities that be paying ain't had they monkey ass up on that list or was trying to hold their own daughters out and put their daughters on that. See, people that politicians and shit, they represent this greed and the power supply. These are the people who have been in charge of these countries, okay, and in charge of these cities and in charge of these companies, these pedophiles that have been in charge of how people can survive. See, they've been the ones that have had the money to meet with these people's families. And these people's families, like I said, they low down and ain't shit as a motherfucker because they hold their own daughters out, okay? They ain't shit. They've been sitting up in these meetings with these people's families, okay? Trying to figure out what they gonna do. Are you gonna talk your child against telling on us? No, you know you were paid. You were paid. Yeah, there's a lot of money floating around here because these motherfuckers been paying people to fuck off for years. Don't be surprised, like I said, if more parents and grandparents start getting prosecuted or people's families are going to start getting wrapped up in this because they sent those girls over there. They sold them, you know. They were giving gifts for their, you know, exchange of their daughter or their son. You know, one of the shit said that little boys are harder to find, so they were giving their sons up too. So they were shopping for little boys but couldn't find them, so they found little girls. And these people's parents and grandparents, egos, okay? Their egos led them to sell their children, okay? They needed money for whatever the fuck. Again, I told y'all, I feel like that's what Aaliyah's mama did to her. That's why she ended up around R. Kelly, okay? Now, I noticed that in the other pile I pulled, it said in the spring that we're going to find out that they're still actively, it's in the screen card, we're going to actively find out they still running these pedo rings, okay? This shit's still going on. And again, it's male and females that are doing the shit, okay? There's a lot of child neglect going on. Okay, there's still people still having babies and using their babies in these circles, okay? Not just babies. There are young children under 18 that are over here being abused and neglected, and their parents are the catalyst. Their parents walked them over there, okay? They're using all types of mind control and drugs and shit to control these poor children. And those that push back are those that don't go with the flow. Parents that decide to change up, decide, no, I'm not going to do this no more, which you shouldn't have been doing this to your child at all. This is what happens to them or their children, okay? I've told y'all that there are a lot of, they strangled a lot of those children to get rid of them, and when they got rid of those kids, they simply buried them, okay? Part three, excuse me, coming up.